Hello, and welcome to Afterglow Poetics. I'm your host, Sarah. Um, I'm in better lighting today. I don't know if the bad lighting was my brand and if I'm fucking this up already. If so, I apologize. But I'm awake and ready to read you some poems. I'm going to read you three poems by, is it three or three? I think it depends where you come from. Um, by artists who are out there today, that I met either on Substack or Instagram, and just really been enjoying their work. So I want to read it for you. Also, if you're the poet, I should have asked you in advance, but I'm terrible at communicating lately. So if you really dislike that I'm doing this, can you please let me know and then I'll remove it. Um, Otherwise, I'm excited to share these poets with you because, wow, I just want people to know that there's poets out there, kicking ass. Um, Poets aren't just from, the modern era. Like, we're here today. And it almost feels harder to be here today as a poet than, I mean, obviously I can't speak for back then because I wasn't there, but back then there was less medium to tell your story or to express yourself. So poetry made a little bit more sense, I think. Whereas today there's film, TikTok, etc. You have all these other ways of expressing yourself. Honestly, maybe even lazier ways of doing it, or more instant gratification. And I'm just so wowed by the poets today, and how they're able to express our experience, our human experience. And I'm excited to read you these three poems. So I'm going to start first. And these are three poems that I read this week. So, I don't want to say they're all new because I'm not sure about Susan's because I found it on her website. But from Grace and Isaac, these poems are, at least, have been released to us freshly pressed. So I'm going to start with Isaac. The painter who himself is painted. The painter who himself is painted. She was a train controller at the railways. Tam worked to restore her father's title, but he did not want it back. The noise of shells crackling, the sea, approach, dark. The painter puts his hands in the frame. A sad truth. He cannot produce an objective art. This is what I can't communicate. I can't communicate the soul of my madness. I can't be a mere observer anymore. My hand is in the painting. My body goes along. She is a railway worker. She is a painter. I have paid her a commission to paint me at the canvas. I'm going to clap for Isaac. Damn, that poem, that poem fucked me up. I feel like it expressed what I've been feeling a lot lately. I think I said in the comments on the poem, how we're all just kind of performing ourselves, but we ourselves aren't whole, but we're expected to be. We're unfinished, and we're just out there performing, and then we reach the end of where the train tracks end, and we're wait a minute, I'm a train wreck. At least that's how I've been feeling lately. I don't know about you. I don't want to put words in your mouth, especially dramatic ones. But yeah, Isaac. Wow. Excited to read more from Isaac. I'm gonna put in the description, captiony thing, a link to that poem. Next we have Hunger by Grace Kwan. I read Grace's book, The Sacred Heart Motel. I found them on Substack, and honestly, like the front cover of the book, I was like, I want to buy this. And I did. Unfortunately, it was back ordered, so it took me a while to get it. But then when I did, I was like, wow, I wish I could show you the cover right now, but I liked the book so much that I gave it away, which seems counterintuitive, but I wanted more people to read it. And I do that a lot, actually. So a lot of the books that I like, I don't actually own because they're out there in the world. But yeah, I really like their work, and I want you to check them out on Substack. So I'm going to put a link to this poem as well. I also wish that I had water. Actually, I have coffee. This will do. And it's melted. Oh yeah, Tom Waits is a permanent installation in our home. Okay. Hunger. Sometimes I don't say sorry, so as not to impose the burden of forgiving me. I feel my cruelest when someone calls me kind, and if I let myself feel entitled. To struggle, I'll lose sight of everything else. I really am a selfish person. At every intersection, every story, I wanted to find the answer to the food I was tasting. Or was it flesh turned froth white? Neurosis? From a young age, I knew I'd leap to defiance. So when someone else gets help for struggling, forgiveness for saying sorry, or food for being hungry, oh, I forgot what I wanted to ask. So I think in this poem, what I really like is the enjambment of the poem. And I'll get a little bit into enjambment now. I do want to do an episode on enjambment that I keep like alluding to. But it takes like research and stuff, so I haven't gotten there yet. But like, for instance, the enjambment in this piece, let me find it. At every intersection in every story, I wanted line break. So if you line break there, every story I wanted, you wanted every story. And then it goes to find the answer. So basically, like, enjambment is like using like space as a way of kind of putting multiple meanings. You could use like, are they called like scissor? What are they called? Like, I don't know. I have to read. Again, I'm going to do some research. I want to say scissor. Like when there's like space on a line. Okay, anyway. And then there's like line breaks, which are like more typical. And then to make double meanings. And I'll get more into that in a later episode. Like I'll just completely do enjambment and like actually use a real definition, and it might even contradict what I'm saying now, but but yeah, Grace is amazing. I want everyone to go check Grace out and read their stuff and buy The Sacred Heart Motel. You will not regret it, I promise. It's such a good book. I wanted to write a review on it actually, but I didn't, and I still probably will. I just have to buy the book again and read it again. But it's never too late to write a review. Let's say that this is like the my interim review, which is really just like a shout out. But eventually there will be like a review where I'm like actually interacting with the text and stuff. Okay, so the final poem I want to read. So Susan Leary, I used to have Instagram, and when I did, I used to follow Bookish Mama. I think their name is Kayla. I don't actually know them, but I found them. Or maybe they found me. I'm not sure. Also, I'm not sure I'm not sure. If you haven't gotten that yet, I just hit my computer. Wow, what the hell was I saying? Susan, I found them because Kayla or Bookish Mama had posted like that they were doing a sale of their book for $5 because they were trying to compete with Amazon, who was selling their book for $5. And so I was like, hell yeah, I'll buy like $5. Like, I waste $5 so easily. Like, I'm gonna take a chance on this book. So I bought it. Dressing the Bear. Holy shit, that was like one of my favorite books that I've ever read. And I sent Susan more money because I was like, shipping is $5. Because I was like including shipping, and I was like, what? So I sent her more like for the book too. And honestly, I wanna buy another copy, but I don't know how to get a hold of Susan anymore because I deleted Instagram. Maybe I'll do some like research online, find her. But anyway, so I started because I gave the book away because I loved it so much. I gave it to Brian, who you might meet one day. Shout out to Brian, who actually encouraged me to start this. And I love him. And so I started doing some research to find some poems from Susan because like I loved her work so much. So like I wanted more. And so I found this poem yesterday, and this is what made me think like, okay, I'm gonna do an episode because like there's just people out there like kicking ass and the world needs to know. So this one is called In Jail Everything is Plentiful and Tomorrow is Fucked Up. Here, where the moon has been removed from the ether, and the only rule is the rules will change. The howl eclipses the dog, and the dog eclipses the easily granted freedom of another that sleeps inside a hand beside a gun. Here, where someone in a uniform beats time into something it is not. Regarding my brother's paperwork, the most common words are almost and soon, which enduringly translates to never. And how to kill it? Time. The panic that fills the hands like water. No, like air. No, like the edgy wonder of sunrise that for a brief period dissolves all tedium. Morning, too often a false and rare sage, because here everything is plentiful and tomorrow is fucked up. Here, where silence abounds in the lungs as much as wilderness and prayer, figures as outbreak. How not to kill it? How not to imagine every strand of light as a possible coping mechanism? Yellow is the color most closely aligned to violet because somebody said so. Because a life can be anything. Because the torch will burn the hand that first set the fire ablaze. Because here, inside the court of no reason, everything is plentiful, and tomorrow is fucked up. Here, where against the feebleness of heart and mind and body and paper, only language outlives. How not to kill it? The children swallow it whole. Thank you for joining me on this episode. I'm still trying to figure out what to call this episode because I'm going to do like a recurring series of like poems that inspired me this week. Maybe that's what it should. Maybe simple is better. Or like Poetry Weekly. That sounds like something. I don't know. If you have any ideas, let me know. Thank you for joining me and Tom Waits. I'm showing up. I'm here. It's the morning. The sun is shining. Actually, I think it's the afternoon at this point. Um, and thank you for being here and listening. And thank you to these poets for this amazing inspiration. And I'm so excited to read more. I am a huge fan of yours.